Hey, family. Pastor Jerry here. Woo. Good morning. Good morning. It's a great Wednesday morning. It's kind of chilly here in Las Vegas, in Henderson, where I live. And man, it's kind of, but still pretty. It's kind of breezy, but overall a nice day. I'm sure you saw the title of the Hola Santos, buenos dias, mi hermana. I'm sure you saw the title of this. I'm sure it shocked y'all. And no, I'm not leaving my wife. That won't happen. But, I was thinking of things that spouses do for each other out of just love, not for, not just for the other person, but for the love of God and for the love of marriage. Because here's the deal. My wife is out of town and she had her great aunt died. And so she's in Tucson right now. And hey, Josh. And so I had the kids and everything. It's going great. We had a good time last night. And so I'm just here right now cleaning up a little bit. And I said, why am I doing this? Why am I cleaning up when she's not here? Because, you know, we take turns in the marriage. She has her things that she does and only does, and I have things that I only do. And not because I won't do them and she won't, but because she's better at it or I'm better at it. And so I'm like, why am I, doing this, doing that? And the thought came to me, not because I just love her, but because I know it'll bless her. And I know it'll bless the marriage and bless my kids and bless my grandkids, because the little things that you do as a married person that no one else sees, that will bless your spouse, are the things that are intrinsically powerful through the generations. Hey, T. And so, as Christians, unfortunately, we think that if life gets hard, and again, the Bible is clear on certain things that you can divorce for, and also there are things that happen today that are not in the Bible, but by the same token too, the Bible never talks about your husband dealing drugs either, but that would be cause for a divorce. But then again too, you don't have to. And let me be clear, I'm not condemning anyone who hasn't gotten a divorce. I got a divorce. My first marriage lasted 2 years, and she had an affair, and I could have stayed, but she didn't want me anymore, and so I don't stay where I'm not wanted. But my point for this video is this: a lot of Christians divorce because they're pissed off at their spouse, because they think they're not being heard, because of things that are not, they're socially petty. And no spouse gets along all the time. No spouse, there's some days, and people were shocked at church one day. I said, hey, me and my wife argue. And my wife and I had to apologize to my wife. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Matthew. Hey, Toya. I'm sure Red's hungry right now, by the way. And so we argue. We argue. We don't call each other names. We don't cuss each other out. We don't do it in front of the kids at any age. We didn't even argue when my daughter was 2 or 3 in front of her. They're just basic things that you don't do because you are a Christian and because you care about what people say, because everyone argues. That's what I thought, Tyrone. That's what I thought. And so we have to get a boundary in our lives of, there is really nothing that can make me divorce my spouse. And again, every situation is different. But just because you're mad at them, just because they won't do the laundry, they won't cook, they won't have sex with you, that's not a reason to get married. I'm sorry, get divorced. My wife and I have a rule. It's the 3 A's. It's adultery, abandonment, and abuse. Adultery, abandonment, and abuse. And those are the 3 things that we, as pastors, say it's okay to divorce. Again, we use the Bible in everything that we do, and that's important to us as pastors and also as people. So I guess in this video, I'm just talking back and forth, but I want to make sure that everyone here who's in my sphere of influence knows that marriage is fragile, but it's also very, very strong. And the trust you put in Christ, the trust you put in God, not in each other, the trust you put in the foundation of marriage makes it stronger and less fragile. And I challenge you guys to make sure that you don't just get pissed off and get separated and say things that you really don't mean, that you really wouldn't want God to hear, because he hears it anyway, that you really wouldn't want your kids to hear, because you're planting seeds either way. And when you plant seeds of divorce, when you plant seeds of separation, of being cold, of unforgiveness, those seeds will sprout up eventually. And it may take 10, 20 years. We heard of someone getting divorced after 34 years. Why? Why? I mean, what's the point of that? And so my goal, my heart, is to put a plumb line in my life to say, there's really nothing that can make me leave my wife except, and if hypothetically, if she has an affair with 8 guys and doesn't want to come back, well, I'm up a creek. If she begins to be a porn star, yeah, we're out of here. If she begins to abuse our kids, yes, and even then, because sometimes they need abusing. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, things like that, things that are drastic and radical, yes, definitely take time away. But the Bible is clear. You don't have to get a divorce. People want to, because they want their own way and because they don't feel like they're being heard. But your greatest victory is going to be on your face in prayer, not in their face yelling at them when you don't agree with them. And so just think about that for a while. Think about the fact that you represent Christ. You represent the legacy that you have. And when you divorce, you send shockwaves throughout the world. And so my husband told me if I ever left him, he was going to... Exactly, Debbie. That's good. And that's how, thank you, Debbie, because my wife said the same thing. She says, honey, we are one. Where you go, I will go. Wherever you go, we'll pack up and we'll go, because you are my husband and I'm cling to you. And that's awesome. And that's how I feel about her. And so just think about that today. Think about the things that your spouse does that irritate you. Think about the things that we do that irritate God. And I'm sure that it'll come up a lot better. Let's see what else. I think that was it. Hey, Alicia. That's really it, though. Just really watch what you say around your spouse. Watch what you say in your heart about your spouse, about marriage, about what he or her is or she isn't doing, because those thoughts are seeds. Because my wife gave me an example of, she got her eyes dilated or something at the eye doctor, and they changed her prescription. She's wearing contacts, and so she said that when she looks through those contacts, what did she say? Yeah, she said that her mind will begin to adjust to what the contacts show her. And I said, wow, that's true for us, because our brains begin to adjust by the lens that we use to view the world. And if you view your spouse as less than, as a bank, a baby machine, a pain, a nag, a jerk, a sperm donor, you know what? You're going to have what you see, and then your brain will begin to adjust to that. But if you view your spouse as a man of God, a woman of God, no matter how they're acting, if you confess the word over them, if you treat them like you want them to be, watch and see what happens. I have many testimonies of husbands being just jerks, of wives being just witches, and the spouse who's doing things right will pray for him and act. And here's an example. I know of a young lady. Well, she's young. Her husband just got saved about 5 or 6 years ago, and they've been married for over 40 years. And so she's been praying that long to get her husband saved, over 40 years. I'm sorry, over 30 at least. And so if you aren't at that point where you've been praying for your spouse for 30 years, I don't want to hear you talking. Just keep praying, because you married that person. You made the choice. No one put a gun to your head. And unless they are abusing you, they're committing adultery, or they've abandoned you, or some other horrendous, unnamed thing in the Bible. Because I tell people, God honors covenant, not feelings. And there are many a day that I don't feel like, you know what, this ain't worth it. Yeah, yes, I do feel that way sometimes. But hey, so good. I love to hear it. Yes. So anyway, that's really it. Marriage is powerful. Marriage is precious. I love being married. It'll be 19 years this year. I know. Hey Cheryl, how long have you been married to Sean's dad? I know it's been a while. And then, you know, it's great. I love being married. I love it. I could not imagine not being married. And it's great. And I'm excited. So anyway, that's it. Have a great day. I'm going to go make me some eggs. And I'm gonna eat some elk steaks and some deer steaks and enjoy my day. While my wife is gone, I can eat a lot of meat. No, she likes meat too, but not as much as I do. All right. Love you guys. Have a great hump day. And I guess you can since you're married. Anyway, see y'all later. Bye-bye, y'all. Love you.